guys, I welcome you back to Graphic tutorial. In this section of tutorial, we are going to learn how to design a very nice Easter flyer poster. But before that, if you haven't subscribed, I want you to consider subscribing the channel for more amazing content. So first of all, I'll go to my Photoshop, then I go to new layer, I go to print, then I select A4 sheet. This is A4 sheet, so this is what I'm going to work with, A4 sheet. Then I hit on create. So this is the background that I am going to work with. So first of all, I will go to new, go to guide, then go to new guide layout. Then I will get this thing so that I will know that everything that I will be doing will be in alignment. So I'll first go to my panel, then select a solid color. So the solid color that I am going to use for the solid background will be 02093D. So this is actually the solid background that I am going to work with. Now I'm going to create a gradient, but I'll make sure that the gradient is, the code of the gradient is A6030C. So this is the gradient that I'm going to work with. So I will go to the panel, then I create this gradient. I make sure that the gradient will go to the top there, something like this. Let me zoom it so that you will see everything clearly. So I'll make sure that the gradient will go top like this. Then I will click on the gradient, go to this panel, then I'll make sure that the white is pushed so that the red will be a little bit on top of the flyer, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. Then I hit on OK. Then after this, I'll go to my resources. So I'll go to my file, place link, then I'll go to my resources. So this is the first resource that I'm going to pick. Then I will spread it like this. I think I should zoom it a little bit. So I will spread it like this. This is what I want to create. Then I'll make sure that the blending option is lightened, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. Then I will select it, take my brush, then I will rasterize it. I will clean the sharp parts of the image so that it will blend perfectly with the background. I will do something like this. Very nice and beautiful. But I can push this thing to the corner so that I will get something, an effect like this. Very nice and beautiful. So after I'm done with this, I am going to import my second resource, which will be something like a cloud. I will expand it so that it takes the entire bottom background. Then I'll make sure that the blending option is changed to something like hard light, something like this. Very nice and very beautiful. So I will get something like this. Then I'll pick my brush, I'll select the image, then I'll brush off the edges so that it will blend perfectly with the background. So this is what I am going to get for this. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to create two rectangles. So I'll go to my shape box, pick my rectangle, then I will draw this rectangle, something like this. Then I'll make sure that I will select the rectangle, go to blending option, then I give it a gradient. So the first rectangle, I want to give it a gradient like something like a little bit yellow, something like this. Then I will give the other color a very deep yellow or an orange. I think an orange would be nice, something like this. It's nice. Then I will duplicate the rectangle, Ctrl+G, something like this. Then I will select the duplicate rectangle, go to my blending option, go to gradient overlay. Then this one I will change the gradient overlay to something like blue, something like light blue and a deep blue, something like this. I want to create something like this. Then I hit on OK. So this is what I want to create, something like this. So I will make sure that they are in alignment, very nice and beautiful. They are in alignment. So this is what actually I wanted. So I will go forward and import my next resource, which is going to be the preacher. So I will first import the host preacher. I will first import the host preacher. So this is what I actually want to create. So this is what it will be looking like. Then I go to my file and import the guest speaker, something like this, very nice and beautiful. I'll select and I'll move the host preacher at the top of the guest so that I'll create something like this, very nice and beautiful. So this is actually how the flyer is looking now. This is how the flyer is looking now, but I will select the host preacher, then take my brush, then I will start cleaning the sharp part of the host preacher so that it will blend to the background. Then I select the guest speaker, then I brush the soft parts so that it will also blend perfectly to the background. So this is what actually we have gotten now, very nice and very beautiful. I can push them a little bit downwards so that we will create an effect like this. So now it has left for us to give some typing. So first of all, I'm going to pick my text tool and create a text box. Then I type something like Easter in small letters, then I select it. So I'll go to the text box or the text panel. I make sure that the size of the Easter is 135. The text height is 200. Then I make sure that the spaces between the Easter is 1 or -25, something like this. Then I'll make sure that it is on semi-bold and the font style is aileron and it is semi-bold. So this is what I want to create, but I don't want the red color of the Easter, so let me select it again and change it to white. So this is the effect I actually want to create. Then I will select the Easter again and go to this panel and give it a stroke. So I'll give it a very light stroke, something like this, a very light stroke, about 4, and I make sure that the stroke is yellow. So this is what I want to create, very nice. Then after that, I'll pick my text tool again, I type something like convention, but I make sure that the convention now is capital. Convention. I will select the convention, go to the text panel. I will make sure that the size of the convention is 41. Then the height of the convention is 100. Then the spaces between the convention is 50. And this is what I actually want. By this time I will change the font style to something called Adobe Castle Pro. So this is what I want to create, and I'll make sure that it is on semi-bold. This is what we are going to use for the magic. So I will just place it just under the Easter, something like this. Very nice and very beautiful. Now we are going to import another thing. So let's go to File, Place Link, and let's bring this flare to the Easter so that we will create some effects on the Easter, something like this. So I'll make sure I will expand it, and it will be from one end of the Easter to the other end of the Easter, something like this. So this is what I want to create. One end of the Easter to the other end of the Easter. Then I hit on OK. This is the effect I want to create now. Very nice and very beautiful. Then after I'm done with this, I am going to create a red rectangle. So I will just create a rectangle just under the convention, something like this. A red rectangle. Then in this rectangle I'm going to type the theme of the program. So the theme of the program is the power of the blood, the power of the blood, something like that. I'll make sure that now the font is ailerons, and I'll make sure that it is semi-bold. So this is what I am going to use, but the spaces between the theme is so wide, so I can reduce it to maybe -25. I think -25 is cool. Then I will reduce it and place it in the red box, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. Now we haven't done with this. I'll still take my rectangle, then I will draw a very little box here. I make sure that the color of the box is yellow, something like this. Then I push it a little bit downwards so that it will fill this part of the red. So this is the effect I actually want to create. Now we are moving to our typography. We are going to type the informations of the flyer. So I will pick my text tool again. Then I will type the location of the program. So I will type something like the name of the temple or the name of the church auditorium, the hall of fame, the hall of fame auditorium. Hall of Fame auditorium, something like this. Then I'll make sure that I will resize it. just under the theme of the program, something like this. But I can still select the Hall of Fame and give it a very heavy font, something like this, so that it will be distinguished among the other ones. It will be distinguished among the other ones, and I will place it just under the theme, something like this. Then after I'm done with this, I will now type the location of the program. So I will still pick my rectangle, I will still pick my text tool, then I type something like Benkwase locus. Select the Benkwase locus. Now I'll make sure that it is now semi bold, something like this. Then I'll go to my text panel. I'll make sure that the text height is 77, something like this. Then I'll come back and resize it a little bit like this. Then I'll place it just under the auditorium, very neatly and nice. I'll make sure that it is just in the alignment, very nice and beautiful. So I think this is nice and good. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to create another box down the auditorium, something like this. But this time I will change the color to yellow. Something like this. Or I can resize it a little bit and place it just under the location of the program. So after I'm done with this, I'll pick my text tool and type the actual time of the program. So the program is 8 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. I make sure that this is a black, the color of the time is black, something like this. The color of the time is black. Then I'll pick a time and just place it here. I can still resize the time a little bit so that it will be small and lively, something like this. I think something like this is nice and beautiful. I want to make the time a little bit bold, so I will select it and make the time very heavy so that anybody who takes the flyer or the poster will know the actual time, will see the actual time very well. So now I will type again. Now I will type the date of the program, which is 8th April 2023. Then I'll make sure that it is a white color. I'll select the time, the date of the program. Then I'll just place it just under the time, something like this, just under the time. But I will resize it small, very small, something like this. I think something like this is very cool and nice. So this is what I want to create. Very cool and very nice. So after I'm done with this, I think we are done with the information of the church program, left with the contact and everything. So I will come back and pick my rectangular box. Then I will draw this long line for the contact and everything, but I'll make sure that it is a black color. I'll choose a black color for that. Then I will make sure that it is a little bit down, resize it a little bit, something like this. Then something like this is very cool and very nice. Then I will come back, pick my text tool. Now I'm typing the location, the contacts of the program. So the contacts, so I will just type contacts. Then I'll type the contact. So I'm typing my phone number 0554871781 or other number 02061674558, something like this. Then I'll select the number, then make sure that it is semi-bold. And this time I will resize it very, very small and push it downwards. I think it is so wide. I'll resize it a little bit, something like this. Then I will place it in the black box, something like this. Now I'm actually done with the flyer, but it has left with one resources that we have to bring it here. So I will go to my file, then go to place link. I will bring this flare thing, then I will make sure that it covers the entire Easter typography. Then I will select it, make sure that it is changed to something like lightning. So this is the effect I want to create. The effect I want to create here, very nice and very beautiful. I can still expand it so that it will be something like this, very nice and very beautiful. Now I'm done with the flyer, but it has left for me to know whether everything that I type is in alignment. So what I will do is that I will first of all make this one unseen, the flare unseen. Then I will select the Easter. Then from the Easter, I will select the Easter and hold on shift. Then I will move to the time I place the contact. Then I hit on the contact, something like this. Then I push all of them so that I will see that they are in alignment, something like this, very beautiful. So now I can see that everything is in alignment, so I can push a little bit of the whole speaker here so that it will be in alignment, very, very clear and very nice. So I think this is cool and nice. So I'll go to the top there and then I'll make the flare appear. Now let me add the names of the speakers. So I'll pick my text tool, then I will type the name of the speakers. So first of all, I will type the host pastor, who is Willis Brown. Something like this. I will select it and I'll make sure that the color is white and the heavy is not heavy but rather semi-bold, something like this. I'll resize it just like this. Then I will place it at this place, something like this. Then I will pick the text tool again and I will do something like host. I will type host and I will select it. By this time I will give a font which looks like this. I'll make sure that the size of the font is 70 or 17, something like this. Then I'll place it at the top of the pasta, something like this. Then after that, I will select the Willis Brown and duplicate the text, Ctrl J, and bring it here. But this time I will type another name, Reverend Eastwood, something like this. Make sure that it is just here. So this is what actually I want to create, something like that. But if you see that the name is becoming so invisible, you can go on and create a new page or a new layer. Then you go on and take your brush, something like this. You make sure that the hardness of the brush is 0. You push the brush a little bit forward, about something like this. I don't want the brush to be so big like that, so let me type the actual one. So let me type something like 800 and something. I want something like this. The size of the brush to be something like this. So I will go to my foreground color and choose white. Then I'll come and just click on once at this side of the pasta. Then now I make sure that the name of the pasta is changed from white to something like red, or something which will go with the background. So I think something like this is cool. Something like this is very, very cool. So this is what actually I want to create, something like this. Then I will select the host, duplicate the host, then I will bring it at the top of the guest pasta. Then I will select it again. Then I will type guest speaker. I'll select it, then I'll make sure that the color is still red. I think red is cool. The color is still red, something like this. So this is what actually I wanted to create. I think now we are almost done with it. It has left for us to type the church of the flyer or the church of the program. But you can go on and type the name of the church at the top of the flyer, just above the two speakers. You can just type the name of the church, and I think that's all. So this is the end of the tutorial. So you can go on and download all the resources in the link below, and you can use the resources to do a lot of flyer out of it. And if anything is bothering your mind, you can leave everything under the comments so that I will know and address to that. So this is the end of the flyer. See you at another time. God bless you for your time. And if you haven't subscribed, I just want you to subscribe for more amazing content. Thank you and goodbye.